Hi guys, welcome back to DevOps and Data Simplified. So recently I had a chance to visit Hyderabad to attend the KubeCon 2025. It was an amazing experience. I met a lot of tech experts and had some really great conversations and got to see some of the latest tools and technologies shaping the latest Kubernetes ecosystem. I also had a chance to do some networking and learn a lot of things from community. Now let me take you through my KubeCon experience. Enjoy the video guys. Hey, hi everyone. So we are at KubeCon 2025 in Hyderabad and I have Atul Maharaj with me who needs no introduction. But just to be formal, Atul is a developer advocate at InfraCloud, an improving company, and he is a CNCF ambassador. So Atul, I just have one question for you. How did you find out about the CNCF and what's your journey towards becoming a CNCF ambassador?
Sure. Thanks so much, Kalpesh, first of all, for that intro and having me here. I think my journey in CNCF started, about 4 years back. I wasn't into a CNCF ecosystem before that. It was completely into Android apps and bunch of other things. But I stumbled upon it during my role at InfraCloud. It was around cloud native, and that's when I learned what Docker is, what Kubernetes is. So that was my first interaction with cloud native tech. I think in terms of learning, I got good opportunity here to work with a lot of different tools. As part of my work, a lot of content was being created with that learning as well, because the end goal was to, help other developers like you and me to understand, what this tech is and how these tools work. So I was doing that consistently. And then I stumbled upon the cloud native community, the meetups that happened. I had been in IT for about 7 years and had never attended a meetup. I just walked into one here in Hyderabad, and I think that was in 2023. I attended it, and the first talk was about K3S. I had absolutely no idea of what K3S was. So that's one thing I learned from that meetup. But then consistently, I started showing up on every meetup that was possible. So meet a lot of people, understand what they are building, getting to learn a lot of things that I had. And one thing led to another. I became a volunteer at the Cloud Native Hyderabad community and now an organizer for the last 2 years. One of the best things that has happened is that this is a non-judgmental community that is built. And I think not only Hyderabad, I speak about every Cloud Native community that's there out in the world. That these are places where you can meet people, share your learnings, and learn from the community. And nobody is an expert here. And if you want to start your journey, and especially you are someone who's never spoken earlier, or you want a platform to go ahead, I think this is the place where you can start your journey. Fumble during your talks, or let your demos crash. Nobody is going to say anything. So you start from there, and eventually once you are part of the community, larger community, you will get opportunities to speak at international KubeCons and conferences like these as well. And during this entire journey, CNCF was kind enough to see the contributions that I've been doing to the community, to content, to various projects, in terms of generating awareness for all of them. And they decided, or maybe they thought that, okay, Atul might be a good candidate for being a CNCF ambassador. So I've been in the ambassador community for about 3 years now. And that journey has also been exciting because it gave me opportunity to again connect and network with a lot of ambassadors across the globe and understand how they are running communities. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey. And if you are someone who would like to contribute to CNCF, go to your local community, irrespective of which city you are. Find an open source project within the CNCF landscape. There are a lot of sandbox projects that are coming in. See what's happening, attend the office hours, connect with the community, and yeah, that's how you can get started and go on and be at places like KubeCon. Thanks.
Hey, hi Vishal. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this today. So team, just a quick intro. Vishal is CTO of the InfraCloud, an improving company. And just a reminder, InfraCloud was one of the first Kubernetes partners in Asia and the first Kubernetes official partner in India. So my first question, Vishal, to you is, how do you see what kind of trend adoption is going on in terms of Kubernetes, especially in India or Asia region?
Sure. So I can give you a few anecdotes based on whatever customer work that we do in India. So as a base platform, Kubernetes is fairly mature and well understood and already implemented in most companies as of today, right? Whether it is in form of the cloud-provided EKS, AKS, or GK kind of platforms, or Tanzu, OpenShift, whatever you choose, basically, right? I think most of the problems today are more slightly level 2 or level 3 higher. Think of like, how do I do CI/CD at scale with Argo CD? Or how do I do observability with minimal cost, as early alerting as possible, or even things like data platforms, moving to Kubernetes, which is still not the most mature area, I would say. So a lot of problems have evolved from the underlying platform layer, which is pretty solid right now, to more at application and interface of application at the infrastructure layer, I would say. India, again, I would say there are a lot of mature adopters of Kubernetes, and then obviously there are a lot of people who are still in early stages of adoption, but they have adopted Kubernetes in some shape and form by and large at this point in time.
Great, good to know that. And where do you see Kubernetes evolving in next 2 to 3 years?
Well, I wish I was a future teller or astrologer, so I probably don't know, but few broad strokes I see. Obviously, a lot of data workloads trying to adopt and move to Kubernetes is one. You also notice a lot of machine learning workloads trying to use Kubernetes as a base platform. Beyond that, obviously edge scenarios, I think we have seen with K3s, huge adoption of Kubernetes on the edge. That will probably evolve into more and more mature kind of deployments across, deployment targets, I would say. Those are like 2 or 3 that come to my mind, but I would say these 3 will evolve in next few years. But I don't know if I'm going to be right or wrong 3 years. We'll probably know in few years, I would say.
Absolutely, Vishal. And Vishal, my last question to you is, as a DevOps engineer in this growing world of AI, how should we upskill?
That's an interesting question, and probably I think all of us are grappling with how the upskilling looks like in the post-AI world, I would say. One thing I would highly recommend, whether it is DevOps engineer but otherwise also, but even more so for DevOps engineers, don't stop tinkering with systems, the most low level, for example, Linux, scripting with Bash and shell scripting and stuff like that. It might seem like a waste of time or something that's not usable or useful, so to speak, but I think that's where you get the most deepest understanding of how things really work. The good part is now with AI, you can get help on even most esoteric issue that you might run into very fast. You don't have to wait for a colleague or a friend, help you out basically. So use AI as your debugger, as your, friend, as your, kind of colleague to get issues solved and learn, the basics, I would say still. The basics still matter as much as the higher levels of abstractions do matter, because unless you have a very solid understanding of the basics, you will struggle to put everything together as a whole system and, have a clear understanding of what you are dealing with. And with DevOps engineers especially, now you're dealing with even more complex stacks, whether it is with AI servers like VLLMs or TGIs of the world, which means you will need to learn those things as well. But I think AI is a great help and assistant in that sense, in my opinion.